And it looks like we are back for the second half of this matchup between the Honey Badgers of Portland's Men's Roller Derby and Lane County Concussion. James Brains out there on the line jamming for LCC.
And it looks like we have Bleedem and Reap for the Honey Badgers.
Honey Badgers with lead status, but James Brains right there hot on his trail. You sure see a lot more of the skating facing the skaters, a lot of blocking facing the other team. That's pretty new, just in the last couple of years people have been doing that.
Yes, it definitely makes for the more exciting game. You have a little bit more one-on-one action when you have that.
Yeah, it becomes literally head-to-head.
Bleedem and Reap is doing a fabulous job keeping James Brains back.
And once again, Bustin' Mornos, number 651. Looks like some good sportsmanship out there as they shake hands before they take off from the line. And Bustin' Mornos sweeps through that pack and picks up lead jammer for the Lane County Concussion. Earl Slick once again at the front there, holding down that pivot position. Bustin' Mornos of LCC trying to call off that jam as he goes out of bounds, but he cuts in front of Earl Slick, and Genesis Osen sends him to the sin bin.
And we've got Michael J. Sox picking up 5 points for the Honey Badgers.
LCC with 2 players down in the penalty box. This is not how they want to start this second period.
Honey Badgers advantage. Ricky Suave is out on the track.
And GQ, number 32 out there for LCC. James Brains getting up there between Balkan X and Cougar Bait and making space for GQ. When there's only 2 blockers out on there, they have to be very effective in their movement and blocking to help their jammer. Coop DeGraw, coach for LCC, out there on the track talking with SO. Like the outside pack ref was able to confirm that he did cut a blocker on the outside of the track. That call will stand, and GQ will stay in the penalty box.
For your Honey Badgers, we have number 17, Elysium, out, and he has picked up lead jammer status.
And Lane County Concussion just trades blocker for blocker in the box and keeps just 2 blockers on the track. Nice hit by Dragon Balls out there, but he does not manage to keep that Honey Badger jammer back. And that's a grand slam for the Honey Badgers. Again, as with just 2 LCC skaters on the track, that is very difficult to catch these jammers.
All right, up for your Honey Badgers, we have Rico Swerve. And up for LCC, we have Hackin' Man.
Again, LCC back to just 2 blockers on the track. Hackin' Man out there on a power jam doing his best to put some points on this board. Shred-Eye, one of the newer members of this league, knocking people down left and right. Hackin' Man having to drop back. That's number 512 from the Honey Badgers. Holds him far back from the pack. Looks like Icky broke his wrist guard plate right in half. As SO, our head referee says, safety first. We don't want any broken wrists.
All right, for your Honey Badgers, we have number 27, Cougar Bait.
And busting more nose out there, ready to bust some noses for LCC.
And Cougar Bait is out of that pack, picking up lead jammer status.
Bustin' Morno's a very effective blocker and jammer for this LCC team. I'd love to see him out there throwing his weight around.
That's a grand slam for Cougar Bait, picking up 5 points.
Again, Earl Slick, a force to be reckoned with at the front of that pack. Looks like we got a little 20-foot, and we're letting him go. Bustin' Morno's not lead jammer, but in the lead. Got 159 to 46, but we still got over 19 minutes to go in this bout. Just a A few power jams could change this pretty quickly. Gooch back up from a fall earlier, obviously doing just fine. He's going to jam for the concussion.
And we've got Elysium up for the Honey Badgers. We've got Elysium up for the Honey Badgers, picking up not lead jammer status. First one out of the pack, but not lead jammer.
I did not see what happened there, but Gooch unfortunately sent to the penalty box for a penalty, and I believe a cutting the track penalty. And that's a grand slam for the Honey Badgers.
Some great juking out there as Elysium makes it back through that pack, picking up another 5 points for the Honey Badgers.
And Inspector Spaceman back on the case, ready to help his team out and do some blocking. Keep Elysium back. Almost a full staff here. Just one blocker in the box for LCC. X sits there lonely, but everybody else back on the track. And that's 4 points on the board for Gooch. James Brains on the line for the Lane County Concussion.
And we have Rico swerving for your Honey Badgers.
And again, Miller up there at the front. And again, Miller up there at the front. That face-to-face blocking is difficult to get past. Honey Badgers flying towards that penalty box left and right. We are back to just a power jam for James Brains. That's a grand slam for the Lane County Concussion. And this time, it is the Concussions that have the upper hand, as they have all 4 blockers and just 2 blockers for the Honey Badgers. And that's another 5 points for James Brains. This is exactly what this LCC team needs. Once again, this matchup between James Brains and Miller. Pivot for the Honey Badgers. All right, that was a 24-point jam for James Brains.
And even having all of their blockers out there to help him, that made all the difference in the world.
Absolutely. 2 blockers on the track is a tough, tough game for a jammer.
All right, for the Honey Badgers, we have number 27, Cougar Bait.
And GQ on the line for LCC with still all 4 blockers in black out in that pack.
And Cougar Bait makes it out of that pack, picking up lead jammer status.
GQ getting around Earl Slick, but does not pick up lead jammer.
We have number 17, Elysium, for the Honey Badgers.
And that's Packin' Man, number 105 for LCC. Both teams just 1 blocker down, so we got an even game out there.
Elysium makes it out of that pack, picking up lead jammer status.
Packin' Man looking for some help from his fellow LCC skaters. And unfortunately, LCC's Packin' Man heads to the penalty box.
And the Honey Badgers are picking up another 5 points.
Again, this LCC team skating 1 blocker short can make this difficult. Packin' Man struggling, but is holding his own in this pack of giant dudes. GQ out there for the LCC.
And for the Honey Badgers, we have Cougar Bait, who quickly picks up lead jammer status.
I like this matchup, Cougar Bait and GQ. These are some pretty boys. Big hit by Miller. Big hit by Miller. GQ shaking his head, but back up on his feet. Getting some big hits out there. I'm not really sure what sent GQ to the penalty box, but that is not where we want our jammer. Especially when Cougar Bait's on the track, because he is fast.
And quick on his feet with those spins. That would have sent me flying.
Again, this black team out there trying to wall up, trying to do their best to stop Cougar Bait. He's managing to find ways through.
The Honey Badgers are doing a great job going one-on-one with each blocker, making sure they clear their way for Cougar Bait to get through and pick up 5 points every time he makes it through.
Travel team. And Treasure Valley from Idaho. So that's April 27th at the Lane Event Center. So that's April 7th at noon for skate clinic and April 21st at noon for the tryouts. We also have, you're not getting any penalties, you're not playing hard enough. But you gotta make sure you're paying attention to those penalties because otherwise, as I said earlier, the Concussion Jammer filling in the box. But no blockers in the penalty box, so that's 4-on-4 blocking.
Michael J. Stocks out of that pack, picking up lead jammer status.
Not before getting some pretty big hits there from those guys in black. Walling up in the front, Lane County Concussion doing their best to stop that. Doing their best to stop that jammer. Like Earl Slick heading to the penalty box. That is unfortunate for the Honey Badgers as he has really been holding down the front of that pack all afternoon. James Brains out there for LCC, giving some love to Arms and Dangerous. Looks like Brains is the lead jammer. Looks like Brains is the lead jammer for LCC, although he is stuck in the pack.
We've got some huge hits from Bleed 'em and Reap on James Brains, keeping him in the back of that pack. Bleed 'em and Reap on James Brains, keeping him in the back of that pack.
DeGooch out of the penalty box and back on the line for LCC.
We've got Elysium making his way through that pack as he swings by, picking up lead jammer status for the Honey Badgers.
Looks like DeGooch got smacked in the face maybe, but it looks like he is not bleeding and is going to continue to jam.
And Elysium is out of that pack, picking up 5 points.
DeGooch trying to get past Earl Slick, who certainly does not want to help him out at all. It's this point in the game that these jammers are getting tired, and this starts to get really frustrating. Let's hear it, LCC fans. DeGooch needs your support. All right, James Brains out on the line for Concussion.
And with 4 minutes and 5 seconds left, we have Michael J. Sox out there for the Honey Badgers.
Both jammers moving quick through that pack, but Michael J. Sox for the Honey Badgers comes out in the lead.
James Brains is going up against Bleed 'em and Reap, last line of defense.
James Brains throwing his weight around, but can't quite break up that wall. Throwing his weight around, but can't quite break up that wall of red. Cosmo Damage holding back in the back of that pack, making it difficult for Brains to get through. And he's making that decision that all of us jammers are worried to make. He passes that helmet cover to X, and unfortunately, that does not work out for LCC.
So now we have the Honey Badgers in a power jam.
Big hit by James Brains, now blocking on the track as he relinquished that star helmet cover to X.
Up for your Honey Badgers, we have Armed and Dangerous out there on the power jam.
And Bustin' Mornos being sent off the track as the pivot. And SO bringing him back on just in time for him to make some mean hits on Armed and Dangerous.
All right, up for your Honey Badgers, we have number 313, Rico Swerve.
And again, Lane County Concussion with too many guys in the penalty box. Jamming for LCC, that's X out there. Looking for some help from his friends in black. Can we get a little love for X? LCC fans, let's hear it for X out there jamming for the first time this afternoon in what is most likely the last jam of this game. He is putting it on the line for LCC. This has been a tough game for all of the skaters on both of these teams. Hard-hitting game. X taking his place back again as a blocker in this pack as Bustin' Mornos takes on that star and runs with it, or rather skates with it. Or rather skates with it. What a fancy footwork out there by number 651, and he has now made it through that pack. And that's one more point for Bustin' Mornos and the Lane County Concussion. It looks like the final score is 276 to 77. Thank you so much once again for everybody for the Lane County Concussion. My partner here in crime from Cherry City, Ariola 51. I'm Little Orphan Annihilator. Thank you. Have a great afternoon.